And I personally, as a hospitality worker, as a veteran of the food beverage hospitality industry, had to ask myself, what was the price that I paid in my body and in my mental health for doing that? I'll tell you, I'm 5 years out and I still have to remind myself that I can eat warm food, that I don't have to eat over a trash can. I still struggle with stomach issues because of it. I still can't in a restaurant sit next to an open kitchen where I can hear the tickets coming in. And that's, we say that very, very jokingly. But that is a very real thing that I experience, that, sometimes I'll sit down at a restaurant and within 5 minutes I'm ready to go. No, but it definitely, it speaks volumes about the experience and the conditioning that I experienced as a person who was brought up in hospitality and who worked in hospitality for 16 years. And so I think it's very hard to check in with other folks and here's what I experienced. When I discovered Chow, I was working as the head of food and beverage of a pretty high profile hotel group. And I discovered Chow and I brought it to my GM and I said, I would love to do a temperature check with my team. And his answer was, okay. And folks are going to check in at well done because nobody's having a good time right now. And so for me, I want to recognize that a big piece of why we don't ask folks how they're doing is because we often don't know what to do if they share, hey, I'm struggling. And so, one of the tools that I tell folks to put in their back pocket is, we've got 2 ears for listening and one mouth for speaking, because we should be doing more listening than speaking. So if we can ask folks how they're doing without and relinquish the compulsion of fixing or reframing or offering a solution for what they're sharing, it actually, for me, becomes so much easier to ask how folks are doing, because I'm not the person who is single-handedly responsible for fixing whatever challenge you're going through that made you feel well done. And so I can just ask you about it and be human with you for a second, because I might not relate to whatever challenge you're going through that day, but odds are I can probably relate to the feeling of being well done over any X thing that happens that makes folks feel well done.